Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Road to Nowhere podcast. I am Edward Extreme from Extreme FTW Gaming here on Twitch. This is Jimmy G from the Jimmy G Experience over on Facebook and Jimmy G Smack here on Twitch. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Road to Nowhere podcast. Today has sucked for me for a couple different reasons. Today is the day that my girlfriend takes off for a little over a month. She's gone. She left maybe 30 minutes ago, and oh, I was a blubbering baby for a good 5-10 minutes there. Especially when I walk back in after she had
Such a
driven away.
girl.
Shut up, fuck you. Anyways, I get back inside and there's the dog looking at me like, she's gone. She's gone. And I'm like, motherfucker. So that just made it worse. So yeah, then I had to call my internet provider and deal with that because I may have not paid the bill, and so they're going to disconnect it. So I'm like, yay! So took care of that, and here we are. But yeah, it's been a wild and crazy few days for me. I actually haven't streamed at all. Most of you guys may already know this, but yeah, I've been spending time with my lady. She's gone now, so the night streams start on Friday. First night stream will be this Friday. I'm tentatively scheduled to go live at 6 p.m. My time, so 5 p.m. Pacific, and I'll be streaming until like 6 a.m. my time. So it is gonna be a fun night. But
Back to them graveyard streams. Let's go.
man, I've actually never done a graveyard stream, and I've wanted to for a while, but every time I brought it up with Kim, she would shoot it down because her concern was that I would do these streams and then one, I wouldn't have time to spend with her because I'd be sleeping, or two, I would be too loud. And so that is kind of the point of this is to test to see one, how loud I am during these streams at night, and two, um, to see how well they go. Because I've had some people tell me if I streamed later, I would probably be doing a much better than I am. Here's my chance to find out, and here's hoping it works in my favor in the best way possible. Because yeah, if this don't go well, it might be a while before I stream again. So kind of have an ultimatum put in front of me: either succeed or go get a fucking job.
Hey, you know what? At least you got Wednesdays to look forward to.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward. Wednesdays are going to be the worst day for the next few weeks because with me streaming till 6, I go to bed at like 7, 8 at the latest. I'll be up by like 1, which is literally now. So that is going to be Wednesdays. I might I might cut the streams early so I can go to bed early so I can get on by, well, I don't know what time. But speaking of that, last couple of weeks we've been having issues going live at our normal scheduled time of 11 a.m., 10 a.m. Pacific, and that's because your schedule's been shit. That's
Yeah,
now
my
changed.
schedule. Yeah. So my schedule got changed. My days off were Tuesday, Wednesday. They got changed or are being changed starting next week. I basically. So this weekend that just happened, Monday, Tuesday I was off. And then next week I'll be off Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'll have to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'll be off Saturday, and then it'll change to Tuesday, Wednesday again for hopefully the foreseeable future.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So the original
So
plan was is they wanted to move me back to Monday, Tuesday when we got 2 new people hired. And I spoke with the manager today and I informed her that Tuesday, Wednesdays work better for me than Monday, Tuesday. So she's going to leave me on Tuesday, Wednesday. At least she said that that's what she was going to do since I'm actually a good worker and do what I'm supposed to do and kind of set the
I
bar a
don't know
little
why,
higher
but
for my coworkers.
for some reason I hear that's what she's supposed to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's just gonna go bad.
Well, no, I mean, like she told me she was gonna do that, but then she's the kind of person that if it's not written down, she's more likely to forget. And I get that because I'm that kind of
Uh,
person too.
okay.
But the moment that I see it changed, I can talk to her again and say, "Hey, I thought we were gonna leave it at Tuesday, Wednesday off," and then she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I forgot," and she'll change it for the following week.
Okay. Well, here's hoping for the good on that one, man. Because
Right?
yeah, I know you have not been enjoying the days you have off, let alone the days you've. Well, I mean, you had more time to stream, which was nice, but it made this show, which is something I know you look forward to every single week, um, kind of up in the air literally every week.
Yeah, no, I
So,
really do look forward to this one. And believe it or not, being off Monday, Tuesday, I didn't stream at all on Tuesday. Like I streamed on Monday for
wow.
a little while. I didn't even turn on my PC until maybe 2 o'clock on Tuesday. Like nobody was home, nobody was playing any games, so I didn't even turn it on. I just left it off, hung out with the kids, watched movies, did random stuff throughout the house. I gave
Yeah.
the kids electronics because they like to play video games and stuff. So I gave them their stuff. But yeah, yeah, I didn't even turn my system on. So anybody out there who follows me on Tuesday, Monday, and Tuesday, my days off when I stream, I apologize. But I don't like gaming alone. And with you not playing Destiny and nobody else is online, I was like, not really feeling it.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll if you want me to play Destiny, all you got to do is say, "Hey, let's play some Destiny," and I'll jump on. That doesn't bug me. Um, if I'm playing something else and you're like, "Hey, do you want to play Destiny?" I'm gonna say the same thing I just said. Sure, and I'll jump over there. I don't mind. The only thing was, like I said, the last few days, I wasn't even on. Like I would get on just to do rep stuff on Warframe, and that's it. Like I didn't even actually
Yeah.
play the game. So,
Yeah. No,
but yeah,
I know I saw you on Discord pop up playing Warframe and then idle. You
yeah,
know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I saw that.
That was pretty much the last 3 or 4 days. So, but yeah, with her gone, it's like I have like literally I could do whatever I want right now, which is great because I want to game at night. Like I've been wanting to do that for a while. And it's not like I don't like spending time with her. I don't want that to be the narrative people get from this. I love my girlfriend very much. I'm very grateful to her letting me and my brother move in here, but it sucks not being able to live the same lifestyle I lived before. But that's the compromise you got to make.
Oh
And
yeah.
I would rather make that compromise than be out a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So it's not a hard choice to make on this
Hmm.
one.
So for me, I've been married 15 years. My wife and I just had our 15-year anniversary
Yep.
and we went out and stuff. About,
Mhm.
I don't know, 2 years into our marriage, like that's when she spoke up. Like I kept living my single lifestyle, like playing video games all the time and this and that, working graveyard, whatever. She turned to me and she said, "Look, you're not spending any time with me. You have your head in the goddamn video games forever. There's no time for us, and you need to make a choice. You either stop playing so much video games or say goodbye." And I'm like, "Fuck!" And I stopped playing
Yep.
video games for like 7 years,
Instantly.
dude. I
Yeah,
stopped. I did. I stopped playing for like 7 years or
I
longer.
know.
And she
I know.
played
I
more video
remember.
games than I did. But there was a point when Halo 3 came out, you and I would legit, like, I stayed up for 3 days playing Halo. Like, every time I
Yeah.
passed out, somebody killed me and I'd move forward, and I'd wake up and I would go back
Yep.
to the
I
video
remember
game.
that shit. I remember that shit. I remember that
Um,
and then Rainbow Six Vegas.
yeah,
Vegas 2. We played
yeah,
the crap out of that game, dude. Oh, I love Terrace Hunt. And we
yeah,
would play that. You, me, and Elliot. We never had a fourth. It was just the three of us.
yeah.
And Elliot, like, I love my brother, but he sucks at first person shooters. So,
Yeah,
um,
but no, yeah, and that was it though. Is it was a compromise that I had to make, so I fully understand. And then recently, when my kids started playing video games, as much as they do, and my wife started working as much as she did, she went to fucking 12 hours a day, 7 days a week during COVID.
mhm,
And that left me doing basically nothing. So I jumped
yeah.
back into video games. And because of
And you
freaking
and I weren't
COVID,
talking at that point.
I just kind of fully went back to the way I was way back when. And I'm always playing video games. I'm always doing this. I'm always doing that, making no time for the family and this and that. But, I got to find that happy medium. And it was hard to do,
Yeah.
you know? So I
Yeah, and
get
that's
it.
I think that's the thing that I have in my favor in this one is that while she did speak up, she and this is where I would say definitely differs. She spoke up and I agreed to most of it. I was like, "Okay, cool, it's fine." It's like I will make time for you because I want to. I want to spend time with you. But there comes a point it's like this is what I'm trying to do as my livelihood. And I've made that very clear to her. She supports that as well. And I'm like, "All right, you support this, but you're also kind of crutching me in a way that I can't get out of." And so for the longest period, I've known that when she left, this was going to be my chance to finally test what's the best time for me to stream. And she and I had a very brief conversation about it. And I told her that if this works out, if I see dramatic growth while you're gone, or if by some miracle of God, I mean, I'm not that far from it. I only need 20 followers. I can get affiliate before you come back and I can start actually making money from doing this. We are going to have a serious conversation about it because I don't tell you when you can and cannot work, you're going to stop doing that to me. And she just kind of looked at me, said, "That's fair."
Right
And I
on.
was
Yeah.
shocked because I fully expected the exact opposite. I was like, I
I'm
expected her to be like, "No, motherfucker, you're still doing what I tell
Yeah. No, like I made the level up program on Facebook by hitting 200 followers. Um and I've gotten, pennies here and there from people giving me stars and offering me tips and stuff like that. Twitch is a little bit different. Like you have to have 50 followers. I think I have 48. You have to stream for so many hours, which I did and I kind of do. But you also have to have an average of 3 viewers in your room basically the whole time while you're streaming. That
you."
I do not have. Like I have one, maybe two that pop in and out. At any given time, I have had 15, but I was rated. And those 15 that came in, maybe four of them stayed and followed me. So I
Yeah.
don't like, I'm still behind on the followers, and I never have a significant amount of people in the room while I'm streaming, so that makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, that is
But
one of my biggest issues is that and I don't know if it's because I'm the game I'm playing, I don't know if it's the way I'm presenting myself. I don't know, but this is my chance to really throw everything at the wall, see what sticks and what is working and go with it. And so
yeah,
I'm going to have a
a
lot of fun over the next few weeks, but
a big part of it really is the game and how many people know
yeah.
you, you know. And
Yeah, I can
I was really hoping that this podcast would kick off a bit with Twitch as well, because like I said, I have people jump in and out of my room on Twitch. So if they've seen my name, they'll know that I'm streaming if they follow, and they come in the
mhm,
room, check it out, and then they'd see your logo, your name, they'd look you up. You know what I mean? Like it's a community thing, and I'm trying to help it grow. I want to see who could be
yeah.
successful. That'd be great.
I would
And
love for this show to get to a point where we can have like a rotating guest every week and talk about
yeah,
some like that would be cool. I mean, the point of this show has always been to be kind of off the cuff. We figure it out as we go. We talk about whatever's on our minds. We talk about entertainment media, which I don't know if you've seen the newest episode of Obi-Wan. I
I
almost
did.
watched it this morning.
I-
I did not
Oh
see
wait,
today's episode. Yeah, today was the season
today?
finale. It came
No,
out at
I did
3.
not see today.
I
I did
haven't
not see
seen it
today.
either, so I wanted to watch it so bad, but I was sitting there and I'm like, if I start watching this and she comes home and I have to stop, I'm gonna get so anxious and like
I know
frustrated
people.
because I want to finish it.
I know people who despise this show. They hate it. They hate every aspect about it. They think it's poorly written. They're like, these are their exact words. We know what's going to happen. Nobody dies because Leia's in the movies, Obi-Wan's in the movies, Luke's in the movies, Vader's in the movies. We know none of
So,
these main people have any major issue during these series. And I'm like, yes and
yeah,
no. Like, I don't know Leia's backstory. I'm not that Star Wars kid. Like I am a Star Wars kid. I like the movies and the stories, but I never read the comics. I never watched the cartoons of Clone Wars. Like I don't know any of this, so this is all fresh to me, and that's kind of the way I like it. I want to keep the story pure like that because to me, if I'm not going off of previous what's written in the history, I have nothing to compare it to, so I have nothing to be disappointed with.
Yeah, I mean, I do know a lot of the backstory, but I'm not like an absolute hardcore fanatic, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you have to give the show time to progress. We already knew, yes, nothing was gonna Obi-Wan's gonna turn into Ben and all that stuff, and we're gonna learn more about Luke and Leia. We were gonna see something with Vader. We all knew this was gonna happen, and the Inquisitors. This was all definitely going to be a part of the show. I like what they've done with it. I like the show. If people don't, they're looking for something more than than what they offered. It is supposed to be one, it's not just one season. It actually has been announced that they are going to do a second season of this that leans closer to when Leia and Luke are a little bit older. I don't know how they're going to pull that off with Ewan McGregor because he's signed on to do it already, but it's supposed to kind of lead. The second season is supposed to lead more directly into New Hope than the current season does. So I haven't seen the finale, but I've liked everything they've done. And when you watch it and you actually sit back and really think about everything that's happening in each episode and how it relates to the next episode and so on and so forth, it all connects really well. As far as the full spectrum of the universe that is Star Wars, it's like, yeah, this still all connects. Disney has made a lot of stuff canon, and as such, they're tying it all in now. This is their way of doing it is with this project and with others that have come out or coming out. And I think they're doing a hell of a good job. I'm liking it. I really enjoy it. I don't know why people are so butthurt about it not being what they wanted. They wanted some big over the top thing. And it's like, you're not going to get that from a Disney Plus show. Hell, you
I
might not even get
mean,
that from a fucking movie. So I don't know
I
why.
yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, I kind of feel like it is one of those over the top things. I mean, look at
I enjoy
Mandalorian,
it
for
that much. Yeah.
example. Look at Mandalorian, for example. They put a full season or a full couple seasons out, right? And it was amazing. That show is great.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan has been like it had a slow start, but
Yeah, I did.
it's getting there, and it's been very entertaining to watch. Um, the Marvel series, all the different little Marvel ins and outs of things that Disney's done, a lot of those people are like, well, I didn't like this, I didn't like that. I'm like, bro, you know why you didn't like it? Because you're not taking it at face value.
Yep.
You have an expectation and they're not meeting your expectation. Stop. It's entertainment. It's like a lot of shows out there are strictly entertainment value, and nobody's opinion or spin on something is going to be the same as everybody else's.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I look at this, it's not a sequel, it's not a prequel. While it does take place in the timeline, it is essentially its own story. And it's a story that's never fully been told. Pieces of it have been, but the full story has never been told. So we don't know what is going on 100%. There have been comics that were written, and elements of those comics were used in the show, but not as much as I was expecting. And I'm fine with that because Disney owns it. Disney can do what the fuck they want with it. I'm enjoying it. I wish people would just take the product for what it is, enjoy it for what it is, be a fan of the work that they put into it. It's awesome. It's fun. The fucking fact that they did, in fact, I mean, we talked about it. We knew there was no way they were going to bring Hayden Christensen back just to be in a fucking suit. Dun dun. There it was in the last episode.
And
You
apparently
know,
they had so much fun doing that. Like he came out and said that that was the most entertaining thing he's done in a long time. And I turned to Jill. I'm like, wait, that wasn't a scene from one of the other movies. Like it wasn't like
no,
a. And she's no,
that
that was
was
a fresh scene. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, you wanna know what sucks? I had that whole thing spoiled for me on YouTube because
Oh,
someone had cut it out from the show, cut out all the individual scenes and sliced them together, and I saw it and I was like, "Oh, holy shit, I gotta go watch." Oh, god damn it, it is the new episode. And so I went and watched it when I realized as I'm watching the show that that whole video I watched on YouTube was spliced together. I'm like, "Wow."
jerks. Yeah.
I wasn't mad about it because it was my own fault. Because once I realized what it was, I kept watching it. I didn't
Yeah,
care.
yeah, yeah.
But it didn't really take too much from the story of the episode. It was in itself, those scenes were its own thing. It does definitely kind of lead into elements of the show, but if you watch that by itself, you'll still be excited for what's happening in the show. Because that actually made it more exciting because when those clips would come up, I'm like, I know what's coming next. This is awesome. So it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought that was really cool that they did that. I'm glad that they did it because to have him come back and not actually do something other than in prosthetics, and he's been in the suit. That's actually Hayden Christensen in the suit.
Oh yeah.
He
Yeah, yeah,
did the
yeah.
dialogue on set. He did that. They still had James Earl Jones do the voiceover for Vader, but I mean, when he spoke for the first fucking time and it was James Earl Jones, I about pissed myself with giddy schoolgirl excitement. I was like, "Yee!"
Me too.
It just
Me
it
too.
took me back, man. I mean, I remember sitting there with my dad watching the first Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope, and loving every minute of it. And this, mind you, I was by the time I watched it, all 3 films were out. And this was back in the day of Laserdisc, where if you wanted to watch that motherfucker, side B, it's like, and the first Star Wars was 3 discs. And so it's like, put in the first disc. All right. Side B. All right. Put in the third disc. All right. Bonus features. And so I sat there with my dad and we watched the whole freaking thing, all 3 films in like 2 days. And hearing James Earl Jones, I I was done. I was like, I was right back in that moment with my dad. And considering all that's happened in the last couple years, that moment for me made this show 100% worth
Oh yeah.
it. And speaking of things that are 100% worth it, guess what I went and saw on Saturday?
I'm guessing Doctor Strange. No? Okay, what's that?
Top Gun Maverick.
Hey, welcome to the fan club.
Dude,
See, and this doesn't stray too far because now that you've seen it, I can make my comment.
now you can make your
So
comments.
we're leaving the theater. We're leaving the theater that day, and I made the comment to my wife. I said, "Hey, look at that! We basically just watched Star Wars in modern day version." And she was like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Think about it. You know, when Luke had to go in and put a missile down the Death Star."
1 second. I have to go get something to drink, so I'm going to cut my camera, but I'm not going to take off completely. I have my headphones, so keep going.
He said, "Keep going." All right, so I'll finish my statement so those of you who are watching, you can hear what I had to say. He said he still has his headphones, so he can hear it too. But so yeah, in Star Wars, you have the whole squadron going out trying to shoot lasers into an air vent in order to hit this one little spot to blow up the Death Star. Well, in the new Top Gun movie, it was the same thing. They trained and they trained and they trained, and they had to get this radar to lock on to an air vent. And they had issues, the radar malfunction or whatever, and they had to shoot blind every once in a while, and everybody would miss. And then it became that whole use the force, Luke. And in the movie's progression, they actually have to go do it for real, as if the TIE fighters and X Wings and all that stuff were out and about. And well, Maverick goes in and he marks the air vent and shoots a missile to disrupt whatever it was, the first one. And he was relying on his counterpart to go in and lock on to the air vent and shoot a second missile down there to destroy it. Now, in Star Wars, it was Luke ended up going in and using the Force to lock on no actual radar. And on this one, it was Rooster going in, used his just feel it, talk to me, dad, and used the hand of Goose to guide him to shoot a missile down this air vent to blow up the underground bunker. So to me, it was exactly the same scenario. One was fighter jets, and one was fighter jets in space. So yeah, I made the comment.
Fuck you. I wish I got that.
I
I'm
made the
sitting here
comment.
right now and I'm like, as soon as you said it, I walked away and I'm like, motherfucker, he's right.
Yeah. So I made the comment, and there was some random dude who just walked out of the movie theater too, and he had your opinion of, oh my God, you're totally right. I didn't get that. Yeah. Yeah. It was basically Star Wars with fighter jets. And to be fair, they didn't demolish Top Gun as a whole. I'm like a Top Gun super fan, and I'm more than willing
Oh
to
yeah.
say that. And seeing the second one, I want to go see it again.
Yeah. So after the movie, we went and it was me, Kim, and Kim's mom, and we went and watched the movie. Getting into the movie was a pain in the butt because Kim's mom, I love her. She's an amazing woman, but she reminds me so much of my dad. It drives me nuts. Anywho, so we get in the theater, we're sitting down, everything's going great. Movie starts, we're watching it. First thing I made a comment on after the movie was like, I'm so glad that intro didn't take 5 fucking minutes. Because we
The
had watched the
intro,
original.
the
No, no, we
intro
watched the
was the
original Top
same
Gun.
intro as the original
No,
Top Gun with
no, no,
better
no, 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 no.
footage, better
Hang on,
cameras, and one
hang on.
wire.
I'm gonna call you on this one. The original intro lasted 4 minutes before the actual like upbeat music, like rock music started. 4 minutes is what it took to get to that point. I
Was it
timed it out
4?
because it was 4 fucking minutes. The intro to Maverick, minute 30. I was like,
Yeah.
oh thank
But if you watch
God.
it, like the cutscenes and the flight people,
Oh
the
yeah,
the
it
flight
was
deck, all
almost
that was basically the
picture for
same.
picture. Yes, it
And
was
I mean that
100%.
all that says to me is that's real life. Like that's how it's done on a ship when jets take off. Like that's
Yeah,
what it
it's
said to
that
me.
fast.
And it's
It
pretty
happens that
amazing.
fast in real life.
And the difference between the original and this one, besides time, was there was better cameras, and they had one wire trick that when the jet took off, that wire snapped. I was like, "That's new! That's new!" Like tapping my wife, check it out, check it out. So excited. And
Yeah, it
then
was.
there was an Easter egg in the film. Did you catch it? It was actually removed from the last movie, like spliced into the new movie. I caught it in the
Mm,
theater, and my wife was like,
no.
"No," and then she read it, and I was right. So when Maverick is out in his ship, it says he's too close for missiles. I'm switching to guns, and he switches that little switch. That was from the original movie. Same quote and everything.
Yeah,
New
I
setting.
noticed that the
But the
the
hand and that flipping of the switch
I noticed that was
was
different.
from the first movie.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that there was a difference from because if you watch it, you have to really pay attention to it because it
Yeah.
happens. It's over and done with before you know it. In one scene, the stick looks very weathered and aged, and then the next stick it looks brand spanking new. And I was like, was that intentional? I thought it was just a flub. I didn't realize it was a full blown Easter egg, but that was pretty
Yeah.
cool.
A full blown
Um,
Easter egg.
but yeah, no, she when we were there, Kim caught all the little inside jokes and everything. Because like you, she is a Top Gun super fan. She openly admitted, mind you, I sit there and I'm my mother's son. I bawl at all kinds of dumb shit, just like my mom did. Kim, there could be an emotional shit on TV in a movie, doesn't phase her. Fucking Top Gun, full blown bawling for a good 10 minutes toward the end of the movie. I'm like, Top Gun makes you cry. I must tell James this. He will be proud.
Heck yeah, man. I'm telling
but
you, man. It was a good flick. It was a
she
good flick.
she enjoyed it so much. She was like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Michigan now. I want to stay home and find a way to watch it again. As soon as we walked in the door, I bring up because we have a Fire TV, and sure enough, it's available for rental for like $20. And I was like, and she goes, shut up.
I
So
will see it again.
mhm,
100%
it will
promise
be
you.
on Paramount in 3 weeks, supposedly.
Yeah. Yep.
I I would love. So the thing I thought was really cool, and I don't know if you got this right before the film. You had the introduction from Tom Cruise thanking people for watching the film in theaters.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yep.
I thought that was cool
Yeah.
because we all know. Let's be honest. The film industry is hurting really bad right now because so many projects are going straight to digital, or the companies that are responsible for these projects are putting them on their platforms very quickly after they go in theaters, or they're releasing them the same time, which is great for us, but for that industry, they're not making the money that they need to be making to stay keep doing these big budget films,
Yeah.
which sucks because it means like stuff like I'm trying to think, like the original Star Wars. That's you're never going to see something like that come out of nowhere again with the way the industry is going right now, because companies aren't going to be willing to take chances on these kind of projects anymore unless they know it's going to make them money. That's why you see so many sequels, prequels, or fucking adaptations and stuff like that. Stuff that they know has done well, they're going to take it and go make money with it because they already know it's going to make them money.
Yeah. And that's
And
unfortunate.
it sucks because I would love to see some more original content in theaters. And until very recently, COVID scared the absolute shit out of me, scared the crap out of my girlfriend. So the idea of going to a movie theater was the last thing we wanted to do. But there is a theater here in town that doesn't get huge crowds. There was a pretty big crowd for when we went to go see Top Gun, but the theater wasn't packed. But it was still larger than what we have dealt with in the past. But it wasn't like probably what you dealt with. So outside of major cities where there's millions of people, I don't see a lot of theaters having big audiences anymore like they used to. And that just sucks because like I said, it hurts the industry, which means we're going to get less really good, fun, independent, independently created films. I think the last independently created film that I was really excited about was on fucking Netflix, and it was The Adam Project. Have you seen that yet?
I did. I watched it yesterday. That movie
That
made me
movie was
cry.
awesome. That movie was awesome. I
I'm not
love
gonna
that
lie to
movie.
you. That movie made me cry, made me miss my parents. I invited my parents over. They came over yesterday. I gave them both big ass hugs. Like that's just real.
Yeah. And it's just like watching that movie, it did the same thing to me, by the way. Just I didn't have that same luxury as you, but
Yeah.
it was so good. And I mean, that's a movie I would have loved to seen in a theater. And I don't know. It's just I wish there were more films coming out that weren't adaptations, sequels, prequels, or recreations. I am excited for the next Lethal Weapon that's coming out this December, I think is when it's coming out. I'm excited for that movie. I love the series. It's the one of the few sequels that I know of that's coming out that I'm excited about. I'm excited for the Marvel films, but those are adaptations. Looking at the landscape, there's really nothing that as a standalone, first of its kind, not an adaptation, just its own entity that I'm sitting here going, I want to go see that. If it's not already on streaming, I'm not doing that. And it sucks because I want that feeling. Like I remember going to watch, oh, what was it? Oh, it's the first one that pops in my head, but Dude, Where's My Car? That movie wasn't a box office smash, but it was fun to go watch that in the theater.
I
And
want to
Dan,
go on that ride, Daddy. Me too, son.
and Dan,
Me too.
and Dan, no, and Dan. I'm sorry, that's me and Kim
See,
do that all the time.
that's
It's
the
fucking
that's the part he enjoys. I enjoy the
hilarious.
roller coaster part. Do you remember that part? I want to go on that ride, Daddy. Me too, son. Me too.
I can't. I remember the dialogue, but I can't place the scene 100%.
Zoltan.
Oh, I think
So no, the roller coaster part was when the alien girl becomes extremely giant and she goes walking and she's walking above everyone and the little kid looks up and can see up her skirt and all you see is her chonies and he's like, I want to go on that ride, Daddy. And the daddy, me too, son. Me too.
yeah, I think I remember that now. But it's like my point is, it's like it's stuff like that, films like that that were cool, and if you got it, you got it. If you enjoyed it, you enjoyed it. But it was fun to go see it in the theater. There's just most of that stuff now ends up on Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing because they're making money off of it their way. And the film industry as a whole isn't dying, it's just hurting. And you're seeing, and more specifically, the people that are hurting aren't the people making the film, honestly. It's the people showing the films. Like movie theaters are starting to go away. There's, from my understanding, there was a drive-in theater in San Diego. It was in Santee.
There's
The
still
first
two.
drive-in theater I went to. It's still there.
Yeah, there's two. There's one in
So
Chula Vista.
there
There's one in Santee.
there was one here in Billings, and it recently burned down. And I actually went there with Kim on our first official date. We were already a couple at that point. Long story. Not going to get into it. But our first date, we went there, and you know me, I'm not a country music fan. I don't like country music. It's not my thing. I will listen to it, but I'm not like excited for it. Well, in 2020, Garth Brooks was doing a drive-in movie theater thing concert because he wanted to entertain people. And so he did this. She bought tickets to it. Well, her plan was to go with whoever was willing to go with her. At least that's what she initially told me. The truth was, she was planning to have me go with her because she thought I would enjoy it. I enjoyed the fuck out of that. And
Okay,
I'm not a Garth Brooks fan.
so let me step in here for a second. I can't think of the right word. Intrude in your thought process.
Interject.
Interject. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. That's actually the word I was trying to find. Um, Jill is also not a country music person. 100% not country at all. When we were dating, she like knew that I like country and I did all these things and I bought tickets to go see Tracy Allen. Was it Tracy Allen? No. Tracy Lawrence? Tracy Lawrence. It was Alan Jackson, Tracy Lawrence. So I bought tickets to go see Tracy Lawrence. And she's like, yeah, I'm not interested. So I took my mom. And like all this stuff happened anyway, blah blah blah. Long story short, she then told me, just don't go country on me. I'm like, do you even know me? I own 3 cowboy hats, all that cost $250 a piece. 3 pairs of cowboy boots, all that cost $160 a piece. My uncle was a rodeo star with his brothers. I am country. Like, that's what I am. And she was like, what? You know? And then here we go down the road a little bit. We have kids and everything. We go to a Garth Brooks show. And I bought tickets to go to Garth Brooks. She bought the upgrade. So we were like in the stands. She bought floor. So we got floor tickets to go see Garth Brooks. And here I am in my cowboy hat, my boots, and you can tell I wear them because they're tattered. They're worn. You know what I mean? I
Oh
wear
yeah,
them. And
he's
I
not
told her
gimmicking.
when we walk in, and I told her, I said, look around at all these hats and boots and pants. You tell me who wears this stuff to concerts and who wears this stuff because they wear this stuff. And she's looking around and she's like, there are maybe 3 people, you included, that are country here. Everybody else has got fresh, brand new boots, shiny. I'm like, yeah, they don't wear it. Like, they're wearing it because they're at a country event. They're not country. They enjoy country, and this is Garth Brooks. And she's like, okay, I see your point. I get it. Whatever. She watched the show with me, and she had one of the best times of her life.
Yeah.
And we went home. She was extremely happy. She's like, I would definitely go see Garth Brooks perform again. And I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, Tracy Lawrence, very similar. We went, since Garth Brooks, we went and got tickets to go see Clint Black. We got tickets to go see Tracy Lawrence again. We saw, I feel like there's another country artist that we saw that I'm drawing a blank to, but whatever. Um, yeah, she's enjoyed the concerts that we've gone to, but I'm only taken her to the big names when I was a kid. We haven't gone to any of the new country stars yet,
Yeah.
or newer country stars yet. But she had a blast. Well, my kids are now getting older. They listen to country in the car with me. They listen to Kids Bop Radio with her. And they turned to her and they said, Mom, can you put on country? And she legit opened her mouth and said, I have failed you as a parent.
uh, so really quickly, I have to interject something here because this goes back to our backyard wrestling days. At one point, you were going around with the moniker because your name was Grizzly Gardner, and your moniker on top of that was Hardcore Country. And I remember this because when Mickey James came out on TNA and her entrance song was Hardcore Country, I'm like, Jimmy? Like immediately was like, Jimmy, where? And so I thought for sure that was you. And then it's Mickey James, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's giving impression, bitch. So, but for real, I remember that. I remember all that stuff. I remember you wearing jeans and a hat and a boots, and for real, like you would play country music. That was not a gimmick. That was who you are, plain and simple. And I was never bothered by it because you never put on the stuff that my uncle would. Because growing up, when I was really little, my brother or my uncle, I don't know why I said my brother, my uncle would put on some of the most depressing country music you could listen to, and I hated it because it always made me feel like crap. I don't know why, it just did, and I hated that feeling, and so I hated country for a long fucking time. Even now, I still will not listen to that shit. I don't care if it comes on and I hear that really
Wang.
generic. Yeah, when I hear that shit, I'm like, "Nope, I'm done, bye." Um, and Kim, we were actually in the car, and a song like that came on the radio, and Kim full on instantly just changed it. I didn't say a word. She just instantly changed it to something else, and I'm like, "Why'd you change it?" She goes, "I don't like that song." And a little while later, she goes, "I actually do like that song. I know you don't, and I don't want you in a foul mood." So, and I just started laughing. I was like, "I love you." But yeah, no, like I listen to some country now. Like there's um I don't know the name of the band, but they did a cover. That's the word. They did a cover of Thunder Rolls.
Okay,
I don't know if you've heard it,
probably
but
not.
it's fucking amazing. Hang on, I'll see if I can try and find it. Also, I gotta kill my camera for just a second. Got a hair that's rubbing my nose, and it's making me so pissed off right now. But yeah, it came out like right after the Garth Brooks concert. It was right before my dad died. I remember that. And I remember watching this and sending it to her, and she was like, "That's really good." Even Garth Brooks commented on it saying, "This is really, really good." He liked it. He talked about it on his podcast, which I didn't know he did. He does a weekly podcast on freaking Facebook. It's like
It started
mostly
on
him just,
Sirius Radio.
ah, okay, I didn't know that. But he does the video on Facebook. I know that. But hang on, it's coming up. My stream is probably all fucked up right now because I can't do multiple things. Apparently, my computer sucks. Well, sometime this millennia, this will work. While we're waiting, um, but yeah, so she kind of got me into country music for a little bit, but State of Mind, that's the name of the band that does the song. They've done a couple others. They did another one that they did, and it's just I don't know the name of the band, the original artist. I think it was Shelton something, but they did a song of his as well that was really good, and
Blake
they
Sheldon,
did two.
Blake Shelton.
I think that was it. Yeah. But they
So,
did
"State of
the.
Mind" is actually the name of a song, I believe, done by George Strait as well.
Yeah. But no, they did a cover. They did the cover to Thunder Rolls, and they did the clean version, and then they did the long version, and I really like the long version more. And that was a thing. I had heard Thunder Rolls before I went to the concert with Kim because I've heard Garth Brooks songs. I liked them. I honestly didn't know they were country. I'm not lying. I did not know because I didn't know who Garth Brooks was outside of when someone would say Garth Brooks. I didn't know his voice. I still don't definitely know his voice. I can openly admit that. But
And hear
hearing that
me, I
song,
would know his voice in a note.
oh yeah, she was the same way. She's 100%. She is a Garth Brooks super fan. She has so much Garth Brooks crap in this house, and I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm just like, oh my god, some of this stuff should be on a shelf
Yeah.
or in a case, and she's got it just sitting out, and I'm like, do you know how much money you have sitting right there? And she's all,
To
I
be
don't care.
fair, I get it. I get it. I'm the same way. I have a lot of memorabilia that should be displayed, professionally displayed, including a boxing glove by Mike Tyson. Um, and I just haven't built anything for it yet. But I've got jerseys, autographed jerseys, the autographed boxing glove, an autographed
I mean,
8-bit picture from the video
I-
game
I'm
Mike
I'm
Tyson's
just gonna
Punch
say
Out.
I'm just gonna say this to you right now. There is a shop in Fashion Valley Mall, if it's still there, that literally sells the cases
Yeah,
for gloves and stuff.
yeah,
I
but it's
mean,
also like hundreds of dollars where I could just make it for, you know, $40.
true, you could if you really wanted to.
Well, you know me too, is I'm crafty, so I
I know.
can make it.
Yeah.
I
I
just
mean,
haven't.
for me, that's one thing. Like I was telling her, I'm like, can I make something to hang these up on the wall, like so it doesn't damage the packaging? It doesn't damage because they're still in the original full blown package, except for one of them that she got signed. And I said, "Can I put this someplace safe? Put it somewhere where it will look nice, whatever." She flat out told me, "If you touch them, I will cut off your hands." And I was like, "All right, I know that feeling, so fine." And then today she goes, "Just remember, if you touch my Garth Brooks stuff, I'm cutting off your hands." I started laughing, because I was 100% planning to do that, and now I can't. So, but yeah, I I miss my girlfriend already, dude. She's only been gone like an hour. Uh, anyways, but but yeah, so the new Obi-Wan is out today. If you haven't seen it, go see it. We have not seen it, so we can't comment on it. But yeah, I've heard good things. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I was going to watch it this morning before she left, and then I said no, I want to wait because I am going to need something to do while she's gone, and it's only 45 minutes, but it's 45 minutes that I will take gladly. Uh Top Gun Maverick, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you watch the first film. If you've never seen the first one, then go see Maverick. It, it I will say this as a non-hardcore Top Gun fan, watching Top Gun, then watching Maverick, I prefer Maverick over the original Top Gun because I felt the original Top Gun story was very all over the place. That was just how I interpret it. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying for me, I prefer a more consistent storytelling across the board. I didn't get that with Top Gun. That didn't deteriorate the quality of the film or how much I enjoyed it. It just I like more consistency. Maverick is way better at telling the story that they're trying to tell than Top Gun did. I think Top Gun was also shot over a much longer period of time ish in sense of how long they spent to shoot it. I think they spent like a year and a half shooting the film because of this person having to leave, that person having to leave, so on and so forth. Maverick had the same issues because of fucking COVID, but
And
the
several
film was
directors.
yeah, but the film still somehow has a consistent story throughout that's easy to follow, easy to enjoy, and you did not have to see the first film to know what the fuck is going on because they very simply explained the main plot points of the first film and
There
why this is the
was
way it is. They
there was
did a
also
really good
a
job.
lot of flashbacks in Maverick
Oh yeah.
that allowed you to understand the original Top Gun and
There
what
wasn't a
took
lot of
places to
video
where.
flashback.
Um, which is why at the same time, like I feel like there were a few flashbacks that didn't need to go as long as they did,
Yeah.
but it did, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. But it worked out. Like you said, it's worth seeing if you like the idea of dogfighting and just straight up action. Like it's a lot of fun to watch. And then it's also fun to see somebody set a goal and then beat that goal and
And
you
set a
know,
really hard goal. I mean, the way I mean, yes, like you put it, it's very much the principal story is very much fucking Star Wars, but it's done in such a way that unless you really connect the two 100%, you're not going to catch that. And even then, it's like it doesn't deteriorate the story from either film. Like it's not ruining Star Wars for you if you've never seen Star Wars, and it's not ruining Top Gun if you have seen Stars or not. It doesn't matter. You're gonna enjoy it. I guarantee it. I was very much excited when I left the theater. I was like, that was really, really good. And it flew by. That's the only thing that sucked for me is I was sitting there enjoying it, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, it's
and
over?
it's over. Yeah.
Oh." But it was so good.
There
Uh,
was one
the
scene, the one scene at the bar when Rooster was playing the piano and Penny looked outside and saw Maverick. I'm like, I turned to Jill in that scene and I'm like, and right then she knew she fucked up.
yeah. That's pretty much what happened. Um, the one thing I really and Kim pointed this out. For those that don't know, Val Kilmer did have throat cancer, and he does have very limited abilities to speak. In the film, he didn't actually speak when they
He
did that
did.
scene. That wasn't him. That
Oh,
was
okay.
not him.
I say
They
somebody.
used a
There was
they
voices that
used
came out,
it
but
was his voice that was altered to sound like his natural voice now, but he can't speak without the aid of a device. Like you
yeah.
may
And
have
I
seen if you watch wrestling.
honestly, I thought he had that device underneath the scarf. But
No, he mouthed the words, um, but he did not actually speak those words. He physically could not do it without that device because it resonates his voice box, which allows him
yeah,
to actually project voice.
yeah.
Um,
No, like I said, I
anyways,
legit thought that he had it on under the scarf because they make a device that is like a almost like a
it's a
dog
wearable one.
collar. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a dog collar that they just set on there, and you can use it to
it's
talk.
the thing
But
is, if you listen to the voice in Top Gun and you listen to his actual voice, because he has done interviews, his actual voice now sounds very robotic, and he
yeah,
didn't want that. He might have had it on so he could do the scene, but they removed his voice as it was used on the day and put in a more grovelly version of his old voice. Is basically what they did. They just digitized it in a way that it sounded like his original voice, just really garbled and jacked up. And because that's what happens when you have something like this happen to you, unfortunately. But the fact that they were able to play that into the character and make it without any hesitation very believable
Yeah,
was awesome because they had to bring more than just Tom Cruise back.
right.
I mean, if you look, he's the only actual character from the original film that's in it, really, other than Val Kilmer. No one
No,
from the original film.
I believe there was one other person that was in the original film that was in it, and I think it was the other officer at the school, the black guy.
Warlock, Warlock. Yeah, I think that was him.
I think he was in the original film too.
He might have been. But as far as like the main cast,
Yeah.
he's the only one that really was able to come back fully. Um, they killed off Anthony Edwards' character in the first film, so can't really have him come back other through flashbacks. Meg Ryan was unavailable, from my understanding, because she was
Meg
originally supposed
Ryan
to.
Meg Ryan now looks way different. And I think that that played a big part in her not coming back too. Is she
Well,
didn't really look.
They filmed her appearance. She was supposed to be at like there because there was a film. There was a scene film that was supposed to play, um, where Rooster is being awarded some sort of award, um, for his part in the mission, and she's there, like, in the background. She doesn't have a speaking role, but she was there, but that was cut, and the whole reason why it was cut is because that scene was filmed pre-COVID. COVID happens, and they're like, "Why don't we just kill her off?" Because, like you said, it didn't look like her, so you wouldn't even register it was her. And so I think that's what they did. Because if you go back, her character, she was killed off. And the main bulk of principal photography had to be redone after COVID because they just yeah, the actors changed their physical looks changed too much between when they stopped filming because of COVID and when they came back. So they just basically reshot everything. There were some exceptions, but for the most part, it was all scrapped. But all the dogfights were kept in, and those were pre-COVID. All the fighter scenes, that was all pre-COVID because you don't really see their face, so they were able to leave it in. But everything else, everything that showed the actors' faces, all of that was reshot. So, but it was really good, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm hoping Obi-Wan's finale lives up to the hype that I've built up for it in my own head. If it succeeds on that level, I'm happy. If it delivers beyond that, I will piss my pants like fucking little schoolgirl. I will not deny it. I am very excited to watch that. I've heard really good things about it so far, and it's only been out for a few hours. Well, 13, almost 14 hours now. So there you go.
I have not seen it, and I will see it. The plan is probably going to be to watch it tonight with Jill because we watch it every Wednesday, just to
Mhm.
avoid spoilers for Thursday. Um,
Oh yeah.
she
There's no way
she
you can go
had
to work and fucking not hear a spoiler about it.
Yeah, no, she had spoilers with other things. Top Gun was one of them. Um, Obi-Wan was one of the episodes, and so we're trying to avoid all the spoilers that we can for anything and everything that's coming out that's fresh. And yeah, so I'm excited to see it tonight too.
So
But you have to wait. You have to wait to see it. You have to wait what, a month? Or are you gonna watch it without your girl?
she hasn't watched Obi-Wan with me.
Oh, I thought she has. Okay.
No,
All
no.
right. All
So
right.
Obi-Wan was the only show that I was given the full green light to watch 100% on my own
All
so
right.
I can explain stuff to her because she is not a Star Wars fan at all. I have to wait to watch Miss Marvel. I have to wait to watch
I've seen, I think, 2 episodes of Miss Marvel.
I have
That's
heard
another
mixed
entertaining
reviews.
story. Like, it's just
Yeah,
entertaining.
I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people who are diehard for the original comic book that are a little pissed off about the character's portrayal. And I'm sitting over here like, I don't give a shit. It's a new character. I'm excited. I want to watch it, but she asked me to wait. Um, I have been given the green light to go watch Moon Knight so I can explain shit to her because what I know of the show already, I'm like, yeah, you're gonna be lost as fuck. So I better watch this so I can look into it and explain things to you because
I
she
watched
wants
Moon
that
Knight.
explanation.
I watched Moon Knight. I did not get all the information that
Yeah,
is there in Moon Knight because I was not a Moon Knight comic book follower. One of my
I
coworkers
think I
was
read
a
like one or two.
Moon Knight comic book follower,
Mhm.
and he informed me that there was a character that did not appear in Moon Knight because of other Marvel stories, and one character that's showing up in the next Marvel movie that has to do with the Moon Knight story as well.
Yeah.
So, newsflash is there is more Moon Knight to come,
Oh yeah.
and
They've already
the
announced that they're doing a second season.
yeah,
Or no,
and I guess
no, Moon Knight.
the
Yeah, Moon Knight got a second season. Hawkeye did not. Hawkeye was a one-off,
yeah. So,
which I'm
one of
sad
the
about.
big characters that were supposed to be a Moon Knight wasn't, and they're going to be,
Yeah,
I guess, the next round. Give me 1 second.
no worries. Um, So, anyways, you guys, like I said, real quick, I just want to touch back on this before we wrap up for the day. I don't know if we're gonna wrap up for sure yet, but we might be getting close. Uh, my streams are moving to the graveyard times, so I'll be streaming from about 5 p.m. Pacific until whenever. Um, sorry, James, I could hear you, dude. I was like, I'm thrown off over here. Anyways,
Oh,
but yeah, so if you guys want to come hang out with me, hopefully Jimmy can join me some of these nights over the next month. And we can do some stuff either in Destiny, maybe run some zombies. I know you enjoyed zombies when we played it a little while ago. Um, if maybe next sometime next month, Warframe is supposed to be, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they're supposed to be announcing crossplay is live and we could play Warframe together. Warframe is a lot like Destiny, but here's the big selling factor for it. It's 100% free to play. You don't have to spend any money on the game to play it and have fun. If you want to support it, spend money. If not, don't. I do, but to each their own. It is fully possible to play this game 100% for free and get everything without spending a dime. People do it.
what company does it?
Digital
Like,
Extremes. They did a game a long time ago called Dark Sectors. That is the principle for what this game became and what it is. That was like they're not in the same universe per se, but elements of that game ended up in Warfare. So
all right, all right.
they also did some other stuff. They worked a lot with Unreal to help build one of the engines. Um they did some other stuff. They did a lot of ports before they did Warframe. Like Warframe was their first fully 100% successful independent project, and they support the crap out of this game. Uh, there are elements of this game I wish they would change or fix, but and they eventually do, but not at the
Excuse
speed
me.
I wish they did. But I know next week. I think it's next week. No, I think it's I don't know when it is, but it's sometime soon. Destiny is going to be getting its Solstice event, which brings with it a bunch of really cool things you can acquire. I'll definitely be on during that for that particular event. Um, maybe not a whole lot, depending on what happens at TennoCon in 3 weeks, but 3 4 weeks. But yeah, I will definitely be jumping from games from doing one thing to another because I'm gonna have so much more time to game, but also I don't want to get bored. And I will 110% get bored.
See, so Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is being released,
That's in
and
October.
I bought that already. Like, I pre-ordered it, and I know PlayStation gets the beta early, and then it goes to PC and Xbox at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know if PlayStation's still going to have access to the beta when it gets released. like for Xbox and
Yeah,
PC.
yeah, it does. It does.
Um, but I bought it. I'm excited to play that. So like I've been jumping back and forth between Rocket League, Modern Warfare multiplayer, and Warzone, and I forgot how much I enjoyed multiplayer, and at the same time how much I hate it. So
Mhm.
like I enjoy multiplayer when we had our squad of six. You remember that? So it
Oh,
was
yeah.
like you, me, my brother-in-law, and a few others that we picked up
Yep.
while playing.
It would
Um,
jump between one of 3 or 4 other people.
yeah, but we always had a full group of six.
Yeah.
And so when
The core
we
4, which was
played legit. Like we worked together as a team, we covered certain areas, we moved together as a squad, and that made it so much fun.
yeah.
And now lately, it's been my brother, myself, and Roy, and three random people. And there is zero communication, zero teamwork. It's like, man, this is why I stopped playing multiplayer in the first place, because it
Yeah.
was no longer playing squads with your friends. Now it's playing essentially with a bunch of randoms. And there's, shut up, kid. Oh, you died. Oh, I shot that guy in the face. There's no, they're coming from this area. There's no, I got this side on lockdown. Go lock down that side. There's no teamwork.
All
And
you
when it,
hear is a bunch of
yeah,
idiots screaming at each other. I can't do game chat. Like, I just can't. I don't care what game it is, I can't do game chat.
yeah, and that's me.
It
But like the game chat works if you have a full squad of your friends.
yeah. And that's one thing, like, if Modern Warfare 2, if I could somehow have a group of people to do that with, I would consider playing it. I'm gonna get Modern Warfare 2 for the campaign and maybe the cooperative mode, but
I was gonna say,
I
if you
will.
get Modern Warfare 2, crossplay is a thing.
Oh, I know,
So obviously, when David,
but I
myself, and Roy are
hold on.
online, we'll hit you up and say, "Hey,
Here's my thing. I still just I hated PvP of all sorts before I got to Destiny, but Destiny has made me hate PvP even more. I don't think I will ever truly enjoy PvP outside of Destiny again, simply because in Destiny, I feel like I'm getting something for it that I can use outside of it. Where in Call of Duty, it's like, all right, cool, I won this match. I ranked up that gun. Whip de fucking do. I
yeah,
can't do
well,
anything with it. I can't go into the campaign with it. I can't go into the co-op with it. That
no."
was
But
one of the
that's the
things I
thing
did
is
like.
that's one of
Go
the
ahead.
things though, is that the co-op for this one, the spec ops, is supposed to be like a squad of four, where the guns and upgrades and stuff are available even there.
That's what I heard. And they follow the same thing that Black Ops did. Black Ops Cold War did, where you play it in zombies, you go in another mode, and it transfers everything. I'd be okay with that. I do wish they would make the campaign replayable, either be unlocks, new like little, because they had it in Modern Warfare 1 where you could do special little things where you could make enemies' heads bigger, or you could make guns shoot confetti or some BS like that, or explode like tires was one of them. If that shit was there and made it just fun, I would absolutely do it, even if that's all it was. But I've played enough games that you have control over what you use and how you use it. That's the one thing I did not like about Modern Warfare, the remastered version in 2020, because that's when I played it. Um, is that it was a very linear campaign. I don't like linear campaigns anymore. I like being, especially for first person shooters, let me pick my loadout. I don't need perks. Just let me pick my guns and my attachments, and I'm happy, and I can go to work and I can do what I want to do. I wish they would add that in. They did it in Black Ops 3,
I
and
don't
I
think
loved it.
that's going to be a thing in this
I know
campaign.
it's not. I know it's not. I'm still
Yeah,
going to enjoy the campaign. I enjoyed the last one. I'll enjoy this one because this is the nostalgia element of it. It's like, oh, I like that. I like how they incorporated that and how they tied that into the story and so on and so forth. And so I like how they're making this version of Modern Warfare tie into the Black Ops world as well. and kind of making it one giant world. I like that. I like that synergy that they're creating. They are cutting out the Modern Warfare era, the original Modern Warfare era, and that's fine because they're incorporating this version into it. And I'm like, that's cool. They also did cut out all the other Call of Duties that have happened, the fucking Advanced Warfare, which thank fucking God. They cut out Infinite Warfare, which I actually like that game. I like the campaign. I like the replay factor of it. Um, but the zombies were fun. Multiplayer, fuck no. I hated that. But I'm excited for Modern Warfare 2. I want to play it, but I just don't want to play the PvP. I just I don't. Hell, I play Destiny's PvP. I don't even want to do it. Even when I have people to play with, I'm just like, fuck, how much longer is this game gonna last? Because it's just I just don't find it fun anymore. I enjoyed when you, me, and your brother and Roy did Warzone. For me, that was fun because I didn't give a fuck. I went in there to play with my buddies. I wasn't trying to win. I wasn't trying to survive. I was just trying to have fun. And I had a blast. If I played PvP that way all the time, I would enjoy it. But that's just not going to be me because the competitive side of me is I go to a dark place when I play PvP and I get competitive, and I just don't like that version of me anymore. I
That's me
don't.
too. That's me too. Is I get
So
stupid competitive with PvP, which is why I hit that level of hatred for certain things and the disdain that goes into some things. So like
yeah,
I've been playing Warzone, right? And I don't know if you know who Stone Mountain is. He's an avid streamer. He streams first person shooters on Facebook and on Twitch.
no clue.
I think he might just be Facebook. No, you know what? He's probably just Facebook. Anyway, I was playing with Rev, and we're in a lobby. We both died. He's in the gulag, and on the bottom right corner, you see Stone Mountain 64 timed out. Only thought that crossed my mind: why the f are we in a lobby with Stone Mountain? Like the dude has a kill death ratio of six whatever, 6 point whatever. My kill to death ratio is 0.85. Like I should not be playing in a pro level lobby because that's where he plays, pro level lobbies. And one of the big things that happened was over the span of our playing, we have entered into the pro level lobbies almost regularly. We have won, I think, two lobbies that were a 1.0 and a 1.03, but the pro level lobby for Call of Duty is 1.2 and we or 1.25, and we get put in those lobbies and die very fast. So I'm like you. I'm like, dude, the disdain for this game is getting real big, real fast.
Yeah,
Because I'm not a sweat like that, but I that competitiveness in me is a sweat like that. You know?
yeah. I have that experience with Destiny too often where I'm in there just trying to get something done. I'm not trying to fucking go flawless in trials or anything like that. I'm just trying to get some fun, get some rewards, have some fun, maybe get a kill here or there. Okay, cool, no big deal. I like to do well, but I also don't mind if we lose. But when you get stomped into the ground by people who are using cheap tricks and cheap gear in Destiny, it drives me nuts. Outside of Destiny, because I don't have that knowledge of what's cheap and what's good and what's, whatever, it's like I'm not phased by it as much immediately. Give me a couple games to where I realize, oh, he's using something that's broken or that's just shit and easy to get kills with. It just I'll lose interest real fast. That's why it's
Yeah,
like we played that game, we played one more game after that, and then I was like, gotta go. And it wasn't like I think in that instance I actually did have to leave, but I would have left anyways because I was like, yeah, that's not fun.
yeah,
Because it's just I want to have fun and I'd rather accomplish a goal and be successful at it than go into something and not even really stand a chance. It's like there's no level playing field. And I think a big part of that is, in many ways, multiplayer games have realized, like, even if you have a competitive element to your game, you can't have skill based or rank based or any kind of like skill based matchmaking anymore. Because once you do that, you either are making the tryhards only play against other tryhards and they're going to lose interest, or you're not going to be able to have enough people to play, for games to load. And so games take 5 to 10 minutes to just find a lobby because they're trying to match everybody evenly and fairly. And so it just, yeah, they started taking it out. I know they did that in Destiny, and it's made the experience much, you load into games faster, which is great, but it's just not fun at all to play against people who are above my skill level by a massive margin. So if I were to go into Call of Duty and have that experience 3, 4 games straight by myself, I'd
There
never pick it up
was
again.
there was one game I went in and I played two games this day. Okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up. There were two games I played this one day. The first game, I came in, I landed, I died, I did my gulag, I died. They bought me back. I picked up another gulag token and a redeploy token. Game's going on maybe another 30 seconds to a minute as I'm wandering around. I die. Somebody comes up from behind, squad wipes. I redeploy. I land to help my squad. I die. So now I'm 5 deaths in, or 4 deaths in, whatever. I died 10 times in one game. The next game, oh no, I'm sorry. I died 6 times in the first game. The next game, I died 4 times. I got no kills in either game. My squad was just annihilated. Every encounter we came across, I very quickly said, "Nope, I'm done." For
Yeah.
3 days, I didn't play that shit for 3 days. So when my 7 day evaluation came up, my KD was 0.13. 0.13. And it was 0.85, anywhere between 0.85 at my lowest to 1.62 or some shit at my highest. So to have a 0.13 getting put in a lobby that's a 1.0 lobby, I was furious. And then we ended up winning, and I think I got 10 kills that game. But still, like, you have those crap days where you're just flat out not playing well, and the matchmaking goes, but you're supposed to play well. But I'm not playing well, so stop putting me in these lobbies.
Yeah, and I mean, for Call of Duty, I mean, putting people in a similar bracket would be like, even in Destiny, like PvP in general, the the biggest problem you have is, how do you judge skill? Some people say, "Oh, it's kill death ratio." I would disagree. I would say it's a matter of progression. If you have reached a certain rank, your kill death ratio, your time played, because you could have a 5.0 KD and have only played for 2 days. It's possible. So now the game's going to say, "Oh, you're a 5 KD player. We're going to put you up against other 5 KD players." Guess what? That person's KD is going to plummet into the ground and they're going to lose interest in the game. And that is a big factor a lot of player versus player games are finding, is that if they don't match you against your equal skill level, 100% skill level, you're going to lose interest and run away. That's one of the reasons games like Fallout and Fortnite have done well. The matchmaking there is balanced really well. I hate to admit that. I hate both games. And I wish more games were like that. I just don't feel that's ever going to happen because these other companies don't want to admit that their matchmaking sucks. It's just that simple. I would rather spend 5 to 10 minutes loading into a game that I know I'm going to have a balanced, fight in, but I'll have fun playing, as opposed to, "Oh, yeah, you're in a game. It took you less than 30 seconds to get in. So, um, have fun." And then I just get annihilated. That's not fun. Or
Right.
what's the other thing I hate is when you're a lobby of randoms going up against a full team. That shit's absolutely not fun. And for me in the games I play, that happens all the fucking time.
Well, yeah,
So,
that also used to happen when we played Modern Warfare all the time too, though, because we had a full squad that we were clearly always
mm,
teamed up together.
yeah, but here's the thing though. Our skill level as a squad was not, you know,
I mean, we did pretty
amazing.
well. We did
We
pretty
did
well. I
well.
averaged
We would
25 kills a game with only like 3 deaths. And most of those
well,
deaths that I had were done intentionally. Like I killed myself.
most of the time, yeah. But the thing you also have to remember though is that I remember there were games, especially the objective based games. When you play just TDM, yeah, a six-man team is gonna swarm and destroy every single time. You add an objective in there, and because I remember we would play demolition like crazy. I know I played
Yeah,
the
search
fuck
and
out of it.
destroy, demolition,
Search and destroy,
headquarters. Yeah.
and you would see a very like stark difference because you would go from, all right, we're gonna go in here and we're gonna just pub stomp. Oh, we're not fully playing the objective. One of us is just off doing his own thing, and okay, that's the game. We
Yep.
lost. How did that happen? And so it made the game for us, you never knew if we were going to win 100% of the time. And I was okay with that because it made it fun because it was a bit of a challenge because especially when we played with well, I'm going to give him his ding here. Don't get mad at me, but when we played with your brother and we played Demolition, he never played the fucking objective. He
No,
never played
and he's the same way now to this day. And he can get butt hurt or mad all he wants, but he's the same way now. Like we'll be playing Warzone and he'll be like, I need ammo or I need armor. I'm like, okay, here I have ammo. Let me give you some. He goes, no, that's fine. I'll go find it myself. I need armor. Cool. How many plates do you have? I have 3 right now, but I need 5. Well, 3 is enough to fill you up if you get like all your armor taken away. I will run
Yeah.
around with 1 extra plate. I don't care. But he has to have full all the time. We're engaged
Yeah.
in the heat of battle and he gets broke. He'll run and go hide instead of finishing the kill just to put in armor and then go back to the fight. I'm like, well, what do you think the other guy's doing? You ran to hide. He's putting in armor too. So now the fight starts all over, and chances are he's going to win because he has backup already. You were our
Yeah.
backup. You could have finished the job, but you decided to run away and get armor. But
Yeah.
that's
I
his
remember
style
that's
of
his.
play is
And it's not a
thrive and
knock. Like
survive.
it's not a knock. It's just
It's not.
that's the way he's wired to play the game. And it's not a
Yeah,
bad thing. But it made it especially like I said, when we played the objective based game modes, when slaying was not the only way to win, that made it much harder because he's over here killing the guys, which is great, but he's not playing the objective. The
yeah,
only exception to that was search and destroy. And that was because you literally only had one life. And so if you didn't play the objective, you were fucked. You had to play the objective. There was
yeah,
no point in getting kills. Play the objective or you're fucked. And he would do really well. Outside of that, forget it. I remember we
yeah,
were playing a game and all of a sudden I hear a chopper gunner overhead. I'm like, "What? The fuck? Who got that?" Oh, oh, Archangel got that.
yeah,
Thanks, David. All of a
yeah,
sudden, you just see a slew of deaths on the screen, and it's not ours. And we're just like, well, I mean, we're winning if the game required us to, kill people. But yeah, no, I loved playing with your brother with that sense, in that you knew he would always, he would hold them down so we could play the objective. But that didn't always go in our favor, and it
right.
still made the game fun. It made it fun to play because we had an eclectic group of people that played the way they wanted to play and we had fun. That's the one thing I wish I could experience again, but I refuse to play Call of Duty like
Yeah,
100%, dude. I'll do it if you guys ask me to, but even then it's like, all right, like I don't
yeah,
really want to, but I will.
yeah, yeah. No, I get it.
But
I get it. That was me
and
originally with
hopefully,
Warzone when it first started. That was me. I'm like,
yeah,
I hate battle royale. It is. I hate it. I only like multiplayer. And then I got into battle royale, and I'm like, okay, now I don't ever play multiplayer.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just it's the experience since I've been playing video games since Modern Warfare, because that's when like online was a thing and I would play with you guys, whatever. I was so hooked into PvP for a long time. You play it and play it and play it, and that's all you play at the level I played, because I would play every single day. I didn't have anything else to do when I wasn't watching my brother's kids or taking care of my dad or my brother. I'm glued to a fucking video screen, playing a video game, and I was always playing Call of Duty. For the longest time, I played Call of Duty to death. And then I just got to a point where I was like, I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm not having fun. I'm not really accomplishing anything. And when the game is over, what do I have to show for it? Like, what do I get to do after I do this? Like, there's nothing. There's nothing gained. There's nothing earned. There's nothing. That's why Destiny resonated so well with me, is because you could do PvP, and even though you didn't really gain anything, you still got that gear which would help you elsewhere. And that for me made it viable. And the only reason I would do it is because you get that gear. But that's why I look at Call of Duty and go, I just Warzone. I've always had a disdain for the open world PvP, because it's like, why the fuck would I want to play a game where I got to run around, get all this shit, and then oh, I'm dead. All my shit's gone. Fuck that. That I don't know why anyone finds that entertaining, but I also say, teach their own. If you're out there and you're enjoying yourself, fucking enjoy yourself. Don't listen to me. Do you? You have fun, and that's I'll be happy for you. I just can't understand it. Like Fortnite, I really don't understand why people like that game, but they do. To each their own. This comes back to how we started the show. There are people out there right now who are knocking Obi-Wan Kenobi, don't like the show. My response is, that's fine. I like it. If you don't like that I like it, tough fucking shit. Eat a dick. Get over yourself. I love how that look came across your
Facts.
face like, holy
I mean,
shit.
I feel the same way in the aspect of it's my opinion. I'm allowed to have my
Yeah,
opinion. And there's, who are you to say that I can't? You know,
exactly. And so once again, you guys, thank you for joining us. For those of you that did, we hope you guys enjoyed the show this week. Um, I don't know how I pulled that out of my ass at the end there, but I did. So thank you. But that is this week's show. We will be back next week. We'll have some new graphics, hopefully, all new stuff. I am going to be working on rebranding the show going forward from next week onward. And hopefully you guys will come and continue to hang out with us every Wednesday. I'm not entirely sure what time we're going to be doing this at. Me and Jimmy
next
have
week is going to be another late one just because of me working again on Wednesday. But every
okay.
Wednesday following next week will be
Hopefully we'll
hopefully
be back to like, I
earlier.
don't know. We'll have to talk about that because with my sleep schedule the way it's going to be by then, yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
if I'm going to
we'll
get up.
figure it out.
I
We'll
don't know if
figure
I'll
it
be
out.
up at like noon.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we will definitely be back to a more regular schedule going forward from here on out. Well, more or less. But thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoy the show, and we will catch you guys next week for more. Until next time, adios. And for those